Hi, this is Paul again from Reliable POD. So following on from designing your mugs, I'm going to show you in the app here how you now create the personalised mugs. And we've got two mugs to create, a full wrap one and we've got a front and back one as well. So what I'll do here is I'll just explain to you what the tabs are, and then I'll move into creating the front and back mug first. So when you come into the app, when you're creating a product, come across to my products here, and then you've got two tabs here which are important. Print on demand is when you're creating a product that is fixed and requires no personalization. So if you click this tab to create a personalized product and then go to add the fields, you won't be able to. That's a mistake people do tend to make. So because it's a personalized product, you click on personalized, and then what we want to do at the top right is click new personalized product. So we'll go to drinkware. We'll select the 11-ounce mug and we're ready to start. So the first thing we want to do is add the background layer of the design that you've created. So quite simply, click on Start Designing, Add Image Area. This is where we're going to upload the image in this box here. Now, the image we're uploading is fixed. We don't want the customer to be able to change the background or anything. So this switch here, 99% of the time on your first layer creation, you're going to turn that off, and then you're going to upload the background image. So we're doing the front and back one first. So here's the design that you saw me create previously. We'll upload it, and it's now onto the mug. So once you've done that, you then want to click add the layer, and then that's added. The first thing you then want to do is click this lock here and lock that layer. That stops you catching this layer and moving it by mistake. And you can see, because you use the template, it's positioned it perfectly, basically where you want it to go. So the next thing we're going to add is this area here where the customer can upload their own image. So again, it's an image area. So we're going to add an image area, but this time we're going to leave this switch on because we know that the customer is going to want to upload their own image. So what you'll basically do here is you will size this box that's created here. You only have to be roughly to where you want it to be. Doesn't have to be perfect. Now you've got some some advanced controls here if you want them to scale this or do whatever you need, but you've got that where you want it to be. Now, because you're asking the customer to upload their own image, just one thing to know is down here you want this to be a mandatory field, so the customer, turn that on so it forces the customer to upload an image. It won't let them order it without them uploading an image. So you've got different buttons here where you can change and move things around. So you've got that where you want it. Now what you want to do is upload the placeholder image. There's a couple of ways or a couple of different designs. People might upload a design on there that says upload your image here, or they'll upload a sample design like I'm going to do here. So if I upload the sample design, and if we go on here we've got dad and son, so I'll upload that one. Now what you'll see is that that isn't positioned correctly when it's uploaded. So here's how you want to address that. First thing you want to do is leave it as it is, add the layer, but then what you're going to do is you're going to move this layer underneath your background layer, and that, as you can see, because you've set your frame on this one, it keeps the image. You can see exactly where it should be in the frame. Just a note as well, when you're creating designs, if you're creating a black design to go on the mug or a green design, those nodes would be difficult to see. If you click here, you can change the colour of the nodes So if you ever do get a clash with your colours, you can change them to whatever you need them to be so you can see them. So anyhow, we've got this design where we want it, and now obviously we want to move this so it looks a lot better. So what you'll do is you'll click back into this row, and then not these buttons, which are the frame buttons for manoeuvring it. You want to click on here, the upload placeholder, and this is where you can move the image you've uploaded. So if you want to move it slowly, just click the left button. If you want to move it a little faster, just press the Alt key and then click the button. So you can move it to where you want it. You can move it up and down. You can use the scale image to work wherever you want it. So that's perfect now. You've got that where you want it. So let's add that layer there. So now the next thing you want to do is add your text layer. So what we'll do here is we'll click on this layer and we'll click add the text layer. What that does is it puts a little box here. So you can see now where on the original we turned off the enter your text here button. As you can see, that's the text, and when we saved it we turned that off because this is where you basically enter the text yourself. So the first thing to do is just roughly pull this box to where you want the text. Say, oh, that looks about perfect there, and the size looks good. So then the placeholder text here, we want to put something like enter your text. So as you can see, that text is too big there, but don't worry about that. What we then do is we come down here to select the font we're going to use. Now this font is the impact font, which, as you can see from our list here, we've got the impact font, which is a display font. So we'll, oops, got a little bit lost there. We'll go back to his design. So click here on display fonts. Now regarding fonts, there's a separate video on that, but you can manage all your different font groups. You can create your own. Let's say you have one that you use for jewelry all the time. You can just create that font group and add your two fonts in there, but I'm not going to get into that in this video. Basically, we'll go to the impact font, which is there, and you can see that now fits there. So what we're then going to look at, so when you've entered your text there, you now know what sort of size that you've got to deal with. So if we count the number of characters there, we've got 16 characters enter your text. So what you do with the default font size here is 20 looks good, but it only allows you 16 characters. So if you made that smaller, if anybody wants to type anything longer in, let's say we'll allow them to drop it down to 16 on the font size, and then here your maximum font size, you make that the same as your default and call it 20. So when you put your character limit in, which is here, you want to roughly put that in for this particular field, about 20 characters. So what happens is they type too many in, and as you'll see when I publish this, the text will get smaller, but then limit itself to 20 characters at size 16. What I also do is I'll fix that. So I'll select that it's fixed. If you don't fix it, when the customer gets the option to fill in the mug details, they will see all these different fonts they can choose from. It's a preference, but I like to limit it, so I'll just fix it and they'll only see this one. Same when you come to colours. What colours do you want them to be able to choose for the font? Well, for this one you want it to be black to mix the rest of it. So you can create colour groups as well, and there's a separate video on that. For this, I'm just going to make it black. Now, when you come down here, a couple of buttons. This one's very important. You want it to be mandatory so that customer is forced to enter their own text, and by mistake they don't order it with enter your own text. I'm not going to cover multi-text areas in this area where you can create text with 3, 4, 5 lines. What you do want to do is turn this auto size text button on, because you've got 2 different fields here. So this allows the text to go smaller. So turn that one on. You don't want them to style, and again, these are preferences to you, but you don't want to allow your customer to change the style, the alignment, the transformation. You don't want them to be able to move the text box. The resizable here, you can either leave on or leave off. If you leave it on the Shopify store, they'll be able to increase or decrease the size of the text on their own as well. But because you've got this set here, you'll not want them to do that. So you can turn that off. And then here on rotatable, you don't want them to rotate it either. So now once you've done that, if you click add layer, you've added your text layer there now. So the next thing to do, we'll move through. It'll create the mock-ups here. We are going to add some more mock-ups here. And just a note here, you can upload your own mock-ups as well into the product. So if you've got some mock-ups from Placeit or your own mock-ups, you can literally upload them here into the product, and then that'll incorporate them when it's pushing to Etsy and everywhere else. So click next. We'll call this one test front and back. You can add tags here as well if you want to. Now that's going to go away and create that. So what I'll do now is I'll now create the full wrap design for you. So I'll be a little bit quicker this time. So if we go into the personalized product again, new personalized product, we'll select the 11-ounce photo mug, click start designing, add the image area. Again, this is fixed, we don't want the customer to touch this, so we'll upload it. This is the design, and as you can see when you upload this, we've got this transparent area here because that's how we did it in the design, and no text in this box here, which is great, how we wanted it. So we'll add that layer, then again, don't forget to lock it because you'll end up catching it and then it moves it a few pixels. So now we want to upload this photo area here for the customer to upload their image. So again, add the image area, leave this turned on this time, and then we'll upload the placeholder image. This is the one. We'll click this. Oops, made a mistake there. I've actually got to size the box first. My bad, going too fast. So this is where the cutoff point is on the box. So if you pull that back to here, that's going to be perfect for where the customer needs to upload the image. Now we'll upload the placeholder image. There we go. We'll put that in. And as you can see, it doesn't sort of look right there, but we'll adjust that in a second when we've added the layer. Don't forget this button down here. Make it mandatory for the customer to upload. So easy to forget that, but there you go. Add it, add the layer, and then as I explained before, pull that underneath and you can see where it is. Now that doesn't look quite right, so we'll go back into it. Remember to use these buttons and not these. These will move the frame, these move the placeholder image. I'll click the Alt key and then click that left. I think that's about right, and I'll go up. Oops, not too much because again it's there, so I'll just take him back down a bit. That looks about right, and I'll update that layer so you can see there we've now got him positioned correctly there with the kids. So what we'll do now is we'll add this font, this text field here. So again, come to add the text field. you can see that it's appeared here. We'll pull that down roughly to where we need it to be. And again, you can make some adjustments to this on the advanced positioning. You've got lots of options to move pixel by pixel, but that looks sort of good enough for now. We'll enter the text here. Enter your text. Now, I believe this font is the Anton font, and I think is that in handwriting? No, it's not. It'll be in serif. No, it's not. So, must be in display fonts. No, it's not. It's actually in sans serif, and it's there, the Anton text. So when you move your text, you can see that it affects it how it is there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to the advanced positioning, and then I'm going to move that the position of that box down a little bit. There you see, you can move it so you just get that perfect where you want it. I'll close that box now. Now we'll look at the number of characters. I think that's 16, which it is. So when we come down here, default font size we'd like at 20. In fact, we could probably lower that to about 18, I think. You can see it's changed. That looks okay. Make your maximum font size 18. It always matches this. And then allow the customer here to lower that size if they want to, probably down to about 16. And then you can enter in maximum number of characters for that field, about 20. So the font wants to be. So the other thing we'll do here is I like to fix the font. So fix that font where it is. I'm going to set the font color to black from the groups. Then I'm going to do auto size text, turn resizable off, rotate, make it mandatory, then turn all the other fields off. So there we've got the finished article. We'll go through, we'll create the mock-ups, add a title, one test full wrap. You can add tags if you want. So I'm going to create those, and then I'm going to show you now how to push them to a Shopify store and what they look like. I've done separate videos on how to push products to Etsy because there are different fields, but the whole process is more or less the same. So I'll just push one of these, well, I'll push them both now to, just a couple of things. When you're creating these, sometimes you can make spelling mistakes when you've created them. You don't need to go back and change everything. If you click in here, then click on Edit Design. If you've created a mistake in your text field here, let's say you've spelt that wrong or an upper lowercase, just go into there, edit what you do, update the layer, and then click all the way through to create your mock-up, so you don't have to redesign everything you do. Also, if you want to change the title or add some tags, again, just click on here, and then you can click Edit Product, not Edit Design, and you can quickly add a tag here and update, and you'll see it's added the tag here. You can search for all your products by tags here as well. So if you've connected your Shopify store, click the three dots, add to store, select your store, go through. You don't really need that mock-up because this is a front and a back, so turn that one off, push it through. When you get to pricing, you can adjust, you can change. That's the price you're going to pay without shipping. And add that one to the store, and then we'll come to this one, same process, and we'll click. I'll go back. Oh, that's a full wrap one, so you would leave that design on there. That's what the middle one's for. When you're using front and back, that sometimes it's best to turn that off because it doesn't look right. Click next. Again, you can change your pricing here. So push those to the store. I'll open the Shopify store up now and show you what that looks like. So now I've uploaded those into our demo store. These are the two I've uploaded. If we click on the front and back, you can see this is how it displays. Shows you the front and back. Like I say, we are going to add some more mock-ups onto here for you, but most people with mugs have their own that they like to use. Click on Personalize, and you can see there you've got the image and the text. So we'll upload an image. Let's take this one. And again, the customer, they can move this around, they can position it, they can resize the image, zoom in, do whatever they need to do to make that right. Then if they click on text, if you watch the text, you'll see as I type it gets smaller. Love from Jimmy. And again, you can see because we've put that 16 in, it allows that to work. So if the customer, you want to preview the design, and as you can see here, it shows you what they're going to get when it comes through. And what I'll do is I'll show you what the other one looks like, the full wrap one. And again, you can see that's the image placeholder, and this is enter your text. If we click on Personalize, upload an image, let's use this one. And again, you can see where you can move that, and you can see because you've got the mask behind, that fits perfectly there. You can make that a little bit bigger if you want with this thing. Then we'll go to the text, and again, put lots of love, JJ. And again, you can see that's it. And then when they preview that design, the customer can see exactly what they're going to get. So they'll just order and it's all done. Okay, thanks very much. Cheers. Bye-bye.